Good afternoon, parents and carers of our Year 11 students. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you, but I'm sure you can imagine the way in which everything has been changing so rapidly with regards to the assessment window for our Year 11 students to be awarded grades, and the way in which that's happening has been fairly transient over the last few weeks, and we've been busy getting to grips with that and ensuring that everything is in place for the students in these last few weeks of their time here at Parkfield School. So just a reminder, my name is Claire Adams and I'm the interim principal. And just want to share with you a little bit of information about what is going to be in place for the students as they come towards the end of their time here at Parkfield. So just to say that the final face-to-face day for the majority of our young people will be Friday the 28th of May, which is the last day of this half term. They are actually technically obliged to remain on school roll until, as you see there, the 18th of June, which is the third Friday in June. But we are going to offer the opportunity for students who are able to meet certain criteria to receive their education remotely up until that point. In order to be able to access that remote learning from after half term, a few things are going to need to be met by the students. One of those is that they need to have credible post-16 plans. So they need to have made an application, they need to have been accepted onto a course or a training program or apprenticeship ready to start in September. They will then also need to do some of the following, which is that they'll need to prepare for their post-16 studies. Many of our colleges and sixth form schools locally will be offering bridging work to students, which will just get them ready from leaving GCSE without having to have done terminal exams to starting much more academically rigorous A-levels or vocational courses post-16 and indeed apprenticeship learning. Then they will be putting bridging work together, which was just going to allow students to be prepared for what September will bring. So that information will be provided through the websites, and we'll be signposting to students to that as it comes up from the different providers. We also would ask that any of the transition days or open events that the sixth form colleges or schools are offering, that the students attend, so they either go face-to-face or virtually, whichever they are being offered, so that they are engaging fully with their next steps into academic or apprenticeship, so that they have a clear way forward for September. Also, we're going to be posting on our website some enrichment activities, which will be not related to core content from their subjects, but will be a little bit broader than that, around things like chosen careers, finances, volunteering, also information provided by Miss Walton around virtual work experience, first aid, sign language, learning sign language, all these things that will just add lots of dimension and interest to what their personal statements will say as they move on beyond post-16 into the world of work or indeed university. So they will be all posted, and they'll be able to discuss and share what they're doing with Mrs. Schofield, their tutor, each Monday for the 3 weeks after half term at 8:40 till 9. And they'll need to be in attendance at that via Teams, so that they can be registered in that week and make sure that they have their registered mark. Also, it'd be a chance for them from a welfare perspective to touch base with their fellow tutees in their community group, and for us to pick up any concerns that they might have via their tutor. So that's going to be a really important thing. So if you are happy to agree to that, then we're going to ask you to sign and just a form which will just let us know that. I'll come to that in a second. Here are some of the dates for transition days that Brockenhurst College are offering, whether you're doing A-levels, that's 30th of June, or more vocational courses, that will be the 1st of July. And Bournemouth and College have their event, Bournemouth and Poole College have their event on Thursday, the 24th of June. And more details can be provided from their website. And if you're attending one of the local sixth forms, please do have a look on their websites of the school, so that if you are going to Bourne Academy or to Twynham or to Ringwood, then each of those places will have the same information provided for you. So one of the criteria is that any attendance at those transitions is made by the students. Some students will be asked to return after half term if these conditions can't be met, that A, they haven't got a post-16 place. We'll need to have them here to help them with that. We don't want them to move on to being not in education, employment or training. We want to support them with that. So the aim is that they all are sorted before they leave at the end of this half term. But if that's not the case and it isn't possible, then of course we'll have them back to help them with that through our careers and guidance support. Also, if any of the assessment activities for their portfolios for their subjects are incomplete, then they will just need to return with those 3 weeks, to make sure that that's done, so that they have a complete set of assessment portfolio to submit towards their final grade. The exam boards will ratify for us. As parents and carers, you will just have to take responsibility, as you did during lockdown, for that period of remote learning, so that we will be able to send that information to you via a form to confirm that you are taking that responsibility for them to be safe and looked after and engaging in that work. If you don't feel you can, then please, that's absolutely fine. We will look after your children in school, but the offer for them to engage from virtually is there. But we just need your support with that in order to be able to ensure their safety and record their attendance mark appropriately in our school system. So thank you in advance for that. And if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We are this week putting together the full list of assessments that have been undertaken for each of the subjects for all of the students, which will take us up to the end of this half term. And the students will be presented with a list of assessments and the dates in which they were taken and the assessment objectives that they have covered. And we'll be asking the children to have a look at that with you to discuss whether there are any concerns about the assessments, whether they missed them or they had a problem with them or anything like that. And you'll be able to raise that concern to us through a form, which we'll be able to look at before the marks go into the exam board on the 18th of June. So information for that will be placed into the email that accompanies this video, but it's really important to have a look at that so that if there are any concerns over the assessments that go towards the portfolio, that we can address that for you before we break up for half term, and to ensure that the children, if you are going to accept responsibility for them after half term, are able to work virtually. Otherwise, if we've got concerns over the assessments, we will just need to have them back in. So if we can do that earlier, that would be absolutely wonderful, and we'll be able to sort anything out just to alleviate any issues prior to the grades going in. And hopefully the attendance has been really good of the Year 11s on the whole, and so they have been able to contribute really well to their assessment portfolio. And as I said previously, the grades really are in their hands, and so I know that many of them have been working very hard to make sure that they get the grade that they want for their next steps. Just to let you also know that Friday the 28th of May will be a non-uniform day for all the schools. The Year 11s asked specifically if they could have it, and so we've linked that in with the PFA Mufti Day, the Parkfield Friends Association. And I just wondered whether or not, rather than donating £1, whether you'd be willing to donate any school uniform for future students who I know would be really grateful, and those students who sometimes forget their equipment. So if you would be willing, and your child would be willing to provide a tie or a jumper or even a blazer, we'd really be delighted with that. All very welcome, and we appreciate any support we can give through New to You uniform. So thank you. And obviously, if it is easier to pay £1 and you want to keep for special memories, then please do keep the uniform. But if you can and are happy to provide it, then we'd be most grateful for that. We're working with the Year 11s on a yearbook, and to ensure that they've got some memories from their time here at Parkfield School. And so we're looking forward to putting that together over the last few weeks. And I'm sure many of them will be working on it as part of their enrichment work in the new half term. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry it's been such a disjointed year for you as well as parents, but if there's anything we can do to support you in the run up to Friday the 28th, then please do let us know. Contact myself or Mrs. Schofield, who will be able to assist as well. And we thank you for all of the support for our young people. They've worked really hard over this assessment period, and we're looking forward to seeing the fruits of their labour. Thank you. Bye-bye.